been playing
When I
with
hear that
Cal,
intro,
like I
I'll
said.
be coming out.
Cool. It's us.
All right.
It's us.
So we just start whenever we feel like it?
Well, he'll probably introduce me and then you start.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead. You're good.
Wait back, Josh.
I want you to send me all the stuff that you're
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Josh, Christina.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, back up in the woods among the evergreen, to the Lord cabin made of earth and wood. People in the country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never could really rap so well. He could pick a guitar like a ring on a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 go, go. Yeah, Johnny be good, tear it up, Zach. Do some B3, John, let's go, man.
What's up, guys? I hope you all doing well. Man, it's been 10 years since I started doing this, and it's been a pretty wild ride up to this point, I gotta tell you. I got into rock when I was really young. I heard Elvis, and that led me to Jerry Lee Lewis and Chuck Berry and B.B. King and all those legends. And I got into that style because I liked the rawness of it.
I wanna jump but I'm afraid I'll fall. I wanna holler but the joint's too small. Well, the young man in rhythm got a hold of me too. I got the rock in the morning and the boogie woogie through. I'm the loving baby, that ain't all. I want to kiss you when you wait.
I mean, a lot of it really got me broke in on all this stuff was old country rock and roll. My first band, Josh and Good Old Stuff. And man, we used to play Lee's Tavern right up in Parkton, probably like a few times a month, or once a month or something. I don't even remember. But that place was crazy. I mean, we'd pack 75, 80 people in there some nights. I'm not even joking. I mean, it was your typical like country honky tonk bar, man. When we were doing Jerry Lee and we were doing George Jones and Hank Williams and Charlie Pride and Conway Twitty and Mickey Gilliam. We were a legit old school country rock and roll band, man. I mean, I'd be up on top of the tables belting out "Shout" and stand on the piano. I mean, hell, I'm still standing on top of the piano, but it was a wild ride. But it really kind of got me broke in this whole music biz performance deal,
Hey, baby, just a phone call once a day. Hey, baby, just a phone call once a day. Hey, hey, just a phone call once a day. Every day keeps the doctor away. Well, lovely felt so right.
In 2013, I was a senior in high school, and I hadn't really done much of anything yet, just the little Lee's Tavern gigs and some American Legions and a couple carnivals, and I had like 2 songs wrote, and I was known as the guy around town that was the kid that felt like Jerry Lee. So they took me, so I went over to a Secret Sound studio. My mom knew John Grant from when she was a singer, and we recorded my first album, Man from Another Time. And that was the first thing I really ever did. I mean, it was wild. That photo shoot was wild. A good friend of mine in high school, Shelby Hall, she had an old upright piano in her dining room. they wanted to get rid of. So they gave us this beautiful upright piano, and we just torched it. I mean, we lit that sucker off. You know, it kind of helps when your grandfather is a retired fire chief. He kind of had some skills to get that sucker burning. And we did the photo shoot, and we recorded over there at John Grant's, and it was you know, it was a blast. You know, it gave me that first taste, a little taste of recording. You know.
Yeah, when I first met Josh, he had sent me some music and I had listened to it and it was really impressive. But when he came and sat down and actually played my piano out here in the studio for the first time, man, just blew me away. He's just such an old soul and music just pours out of him. He's just a throwback, man. He's an old soul. He could have easily held his own back in the day with Jerry Lee and Mickey Gilley, Fats Domino and all those guys, man. He's just got that natural feel, and it oozes out of him, and he can't sit still. If there's a piano within 100 miles, he's on it, man. When he plays my piano, it's like I have to have it tuned, and usually there's a couple strings missing because he just wears it out.
Man for Another Time over at John Grant's let me down to Nashville. I sent it out to some producers and stuff, and actually one got back to me. And that was Kent Wells, who produced Dolly Parton, and he had worked with Reba McEntire, and he was Dolly's band leader, and he had a production company called Kent Wells Productions, and he liked what he heard, so I went down, and in 2015 and 2016, I recorded an album and an EP with Kent. Good Old Love was the first one, and the second one was I'm 21, which was, you know, a really, really cool EP, and because it got me across the pond to play on Ireland's Late Late Show in 2016, which was, you know, a freaking blast. You know, those albums with Kent not only got me across the pond, but they got me a lot of connections, you know, just around the country. And I was actually supposed to go back to Ireland for our actual tour following that Late Late Show appearance. That whole first tour was the big build up to that. And just one thing happened and things started to fall apart, and some people didn't do what they were supposed to do. Like the music business does sometimes, it didn't work out. But when I was, you know, doing those records at camp, I was going on radio tours. My mom, or me and my dad, we get in the car and we would just drive through all these little towns down south and on the, you know, down on the East Coast and through Kentucky and Alabama, and you wind up on these radio stations on top of the hill. And you know, I remember we were in Cadiz, Kentucky. I actually took my band in there and did the Ham Festival, and it was a really cool experience. But one of the people I met on those radio tours was Hallie Phillips, the granddaughter of Sam Phillips, the guy that opened Sun Records and discovered, like, my two biggest idols, Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley. And then that led us to Memphis to cut the live record Instincts at the historic Sam Phillips recording studio on a piano that Jerry Lee Lewis actually recorded.
Up actually talking for a long time on the phone, and then he asked me if I'd listen to some of the new songs that he had lined up for this record, and I said sure. I was on vacation. I said send them, I have all day, I'm gonna listen, and I had nothing to lose. I said, you want me to like make suggestions and things like that? And he said yeah, sure. A lot of times when people ask you to do that, they don't want to hear what you have to say. But this time Josh was one of these guys that just, he heard every suggestion, every little critical assessment, and I said, maybe you could change this one. Maybe this song could be written a little, maybe you need another verse, this and that. And instead of getting getting pushback from him, he said, hey, do you want to co-produce this record with me down in Memphis? And I said, I don't think it's meant to be that I say no to that. So we went down and we did it. He brought his bass player, Mike Scoglio, brought his guitar player, Zach Sweeney. Steve Potts from Memphis, right here. He's here today. He played on the record. And we spent 5 days. We spent a lot of time on the phone before we went to Memphis. But it was totally cool. Josh was like taking every bit of advice, working. We even wrote a new song together for this record. So in light of all the circumstance and hard work and inspiration, along with the discerning support and well-grounded enthusiasm of Patty and Jim, his parents, we all certainly meant for this to happen, and it certainly did. Instincts is hereby out, dropped, released, and here for one and all who are meant to enjoy it. What I mean is you should buy it. It's meant to be part of your personal record collection. And it's my belief that as far as the music and the songs and what he's saying, he means it. He does it real well. He loves every note. Because of this and because of you, starting now, more great things for Josh are truly meant to happen. Way to go, Josh. Here we go, folks. Please welcome Josh Christina.
Yeah, I met John through Daryl Davis, actually. Most of you guys know Daryl. I mean, Daryl's kind of a legend. He band led and played keys with Chuck Berry for several years. No, more than several, like 30 years. And just the work he does around the country to fight racism and stuff. He's just one of my dearest friends, and I love working with him. But I met him. I met John through Daryl at this thing called Class of '88 that we played with 3 piano players. And that led us to this whole mashup in Memphis. And when we cut live, one of the microphones on the session was a microphone from Sun Records that Howlin' Wolf and Elvis might even sang in. We had Steve Potts on drums, who had just come off tour with Cyndi Lauper, and he had played with Booker T and the MGs. I mean, it was a super cool, like, just jam-packed historical experience. You know, COVID hit and the world shut down, and I lost my grandparents, and my mom had COVID bad, and the whole thing just kind of changed, the whole dynamic of the music industry. And so it's been a couple years since I did a full album, but I got hooked up with Aaron and Andrew at Skyline Brigade in Nashville. They have a home studio. And I went down there, and I've been recording singles. You had Old Piano, you had Rockstar, Weekend in America. Did some covers for YouTube. You know, the COVID pandemic totally changed its business. It's starting to come back. But that whole thing, man, that really put a wrench in everyone's music careers. And it's still, we're all still coming back from it.
I feel the world in beats, served as a table, a friend, and I'm able to make any moment bittersweet. I keep singing love songs all night long. like an old military jet. I keep on barreling through. To some I'm like a superhero, but I'm just an old piano. I got some new music in me. I got a lot of new music written. I'm just waiting to find a way to record it and do something different. Something different than I've done. I've done a cool amount of stuff, and I've worked with some really cool people and done a lot of cool stuff. And now I'm working with the Jets. My 7-piece band that does all Elton with Gary Granger, and that's a blast. But the original stuff was where my heart is, where my passion is, and I'm just trying to figure out, what I want to do next. I want to do something different. Sam Phillips said if he ain't doing anything different, he ain't doing nothing at all. So I got some stuff cooked up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my little 10-year review of my music career so far, and we got a cool announcement coming for you, the fans, and all your support. So stay tuned. It's dropping soon. Bye, guys.
Linda and Paige are lovers, both the wanna rule the world. Pedro wants to be president, Linda wants a baby girl. Well, they sneak out on Fridays and meet in Central Park. Stay out all night till the sun comes up, slide home when the dogs bark. Jamie and Kirk have been married for 5, almost 6 years. And when people ask if the lust has died, they say they just keep shifting gears. Well, they go out on Saturdays and drink and dance from dusk till dawn. Hit up every karaoke